marker. Azrael review, guys. Get right to it. Action. What's going on, guys? I'm Ryan D.
I'm Angela.
Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, for this horrific post-apocalyptic movie of the Angel of Death in Islam, starring the one and only Samari Weaving, which is one of my favorite movies that did come out that year. Yeah, that movie, Ready or Not, guys. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about this movie coming up. Let's go. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing today? What is up? Thank you for tuning in for this movie talk channel. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, that Kelly Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe, and put on comments down below. What do you think of this film that we are about to talk about here and everything of a horrific post-apocalyptic film? Let me know in the comments down below. Let us know your thoughts below. All right, let's get right to it. Angela, what is the title of this movie that we are talking about right now?
So this one was a last minute, like we heard about it. We were on a cruise.
Yep.
And we were on a cruise. We came back and we're like, you know what? Let's watch this. It's Azrael.
Azrael, guys, tells of a story in a world where no one speaks. A devoted female lead community hunts down a young woman who has escaped imprisonment. Recaptured, Azrael is due to be sacrificed to an ancient evil in the wilderness, but fights for her own survival. We did actually look this up and everything. So Azrael is actually the Islamic angel of death that is based off that and everything. And so we really going into obviously we looked it up after the fact watching this movie.
And in no way are we very well versed in all that goes into Islam and Judaism and how this character is.
But we are giving our input into what this character really, from the movie perspective of it.
Movies. Yeah, I didn't realize that it was going to be pretty much not a silent movie, because you obviously hear the sound effects and everything, but more so like there's absolutely no talking. So there's no context that you get from backstory or from someone telling somebody something, anything like that. It's you get all the clues of what's going on just on the surroundings, just on what's happening in front of you, what you can deduce as an audience member. I know the synopsis does include that they're mute. This cult's mute. But I didn't really know the extent of how much in this film we see that. So that was an interesting concept in its own self. But I will say I was pleasantly creeped out. I mean, pleasantly surprised how creeped out I was, because I didn't realize for a movie that doesn't have a lot of talking, it's literally set in the middle of nature. And I love hearing stories about what's in the woods, right? So we obviously get a sense right away that there's something evil in these woods that these characters are living in, and you see it. I'm not gonna spoil everything, but you see it. But I love hearing things about what's in the woods. Like I love hearing about, off topic, the Appalachian Mountains and all that goes in there. So this was a really, really cool concept, and I think they capitalized on a lot of that creepiness, that just being in nature, as beautiful as it is, it can also be quite terrifying. Yeah,
there's no dialogue in this movie, and I don't know if it was trying, again, we go back to where I want to know what was the script that was portrayed to the leads here, because obviously the script had to been very tiny, and they were like, "What the hell is this?" I would just think that's an inside joke because of the fact that how big the script is. Maybe it's just objects moving or the wording, It's so
it could be screenplay that tells you what they're doing.
This person gets shot. Oh my god, or this character or whatever, right? So one of the things I really did notice right away, of course, was no dialogue for one. Two, the other thing I really did notice, ladies and gentlemen, and the thing that goes with it is the fact that whenever there's not big CGI moments, there's not. They really have to focus on nature. They have to use their environment. The environment. When I love it when movies do this, because it really relies solely on the environment of the camera work, the cinematography for two, and for three, it really relies on the actresses and actors who have to really portray and enact everything that's happening. Also, call me crazy, but for some odd reason, I feel like that whenever you have something very real in front of your eyes, not CGI, not green screen, not whatever, I feel like that you can mimic it a little bit better. The makeup in here is fantastic, I gotta admit.
The effects were cool.
Really great. The makeup was fantastic on the demons or whatever they were. They really didn't. That was my other pet peeve, was that they didn't really explain too much, but they kind of left it open to interpretation and all that. So I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But the other thing I do want to say though is that the creepy music was really good. I really enjoyed the music in here. There were some moments in here where the creatures were coming out, or these these demons, whatever you want to call them, they were coming out. There was a very high bass, but it wasn't like a annoying one. And then the noise that they would make was really good. I really actually liked that. Thought that was very creepy, very creative, something I haven't heard of, because normally you hear just like the bump, like the loud bass, because you always close your ears and everything, so you always get to hear that little loud bass sound.
I thought like I said, for a movie that can also be quiet, there's a lot of little things like creaking and small little movements that really upped the edge factor. It was super suspenseful, because you're with the main character, she's trying to escape and she's trying to navigate and essentially work around and move around and kind of evade this cult, and you're with her, and it's just so suspenseful. And I will say I agree with you, the makeup and effects were just fantastic. Like a lot of those creatures, a lot of the gory scenes, if you will, the violent scenes were done. The gory scenes were so good.
Yes,
so good.
Spot on. And thank you for mentioning the main character, of course, which I love her in the one movie that came out that one year, which surprised the hell out of me. She's actually a 92 baby, so she's the February 23rd. So she's a millennial, just like us. She came out in a film called Ready or Not. She played Grace, which that movie was shockingly so fucking good. If you haven't seen Ready or Not, you need to see Ready or Not right now, because that movie is so shockingly fucking good. And it's such a brilliant film. It takes you turn for a loop. It's very unpredictable, and I was very surprised by the outcome of that film. But speaking about her and everything, so Samara Weaving, she is fantastic in this movie. It's like she's so attracted, or maybe just drawn into these style of movies where it's horrific, gore. She's always in these type of movies,
and I will say she's badass.
Yeah, she kills it. She really keeps you entertained throughout the whole film and everything. And of course, we could not forget the one and only from 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Of course, was Nathan Stewart Jarrett, which I thought really liked him as well.
Him right away. I love him. And I know he wasn't one of the main characters, and I mean he kind of was.
No, but he kind of. They made him a main character.
I loved him in this one. I didn't like what happened to his character. I won't spoil it to you, but I loved seeing him in this. I haven't seen him in really anything since 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Yeah, and even the rest of the cast.
I didn't expect, because we didn't look at the cast, right?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Again, it was real quick. You popped up on our radar right as soon as we got back from a cruise, and we're like, okay. Even the poster's really interesting. Yeah. Kind of draws you in. So we're like, well, okay, you know what? We're on board. Let's try this. So we didn't have a chance to look up the synopsis, the cast. So we kind of went in blind with this one, and I will say I was pretty surprised walking out of that theater. I enjoyed the movie.
A Shudder film, to be exact. A Shudder film that actually got limited release. And I wish, I'm not gonna lie, I wish Netflix. I know Apple does this already, but I wish Netflix and Hulu sometimes, and Max, will kind of be like, hey, we're just gonna have a limited release, like the weekend. We saw Salem's Lot, which is a really good film. I wish I would have seen that movie in theaters, though, in a theater. And I'm glad we saw this movie in a theater. Maybe it was an older theater, but I still enjoyed myself. Still had that movie theater experience. Were we only 3-4 people in that theater? Yes, there was. But still, I had a pleasantly surprised time.
Well, to be fair, though, we did do like a daytime.
It was like early
random
in the
Thursday.
day. Yeah.
So yeah, not a lot of people, not a lot of foot traffic there. But again, I really liked the cast. The makeup was phenomenal. Samara Weaving, she was great. Again, we loved her in Ready or Not, loved her in this one. I will say the one thing that I wasn't sure about was the takeaway message in the ending. I don't like, we obviously looked up the character Azrael in Islam and Judaism, and I don't know if there's a connection, and I'm not sure I quite understand the overall
religious
message.
Side of it.
Yeah, because obviously it's connected to religion of some sort, to some sort of faith. It doesn't, again, because there's no dialogue, it doesn't really explain what it is and what the purpose of it is. And I think it kind of maybe missed.
That's why I said it leaves it open to interpretation.
Kind of went over my head a little bit.
And I kind of feel like that when movies kind of do that, it kind of creates like in a good. It could also happen in a good way, right? There's could be a good good conversation with other moviegoers and everything that you did enjoy the open-ended, or 2, it could be like, well, what the hell? Why is it open-ended? Why did it just show us a beginning, middle, and an end? Yeah. So it's a good or bad situation. For me, I think it was, in my point, I enjoy the ending? No. I'm going to say no, politely no, I did not. I wish it would have kind of ended to where like, okay, this is that, and that's it.
Maybe a little more clarity.
A little bit more clarity, because it's very shadowed in a way. The ending plot's very shadowed, and it doesn't really. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Hereditary. It kind of reminded, and again, of A24 films, to where like it was trying to portray that, and I get it, but it's kind of like, you know, those very popular, A24 has come a long way, and this is not A24 movie, this is a Shudder film, so it's definitely coming from 2 independent filmmakers, 2 independent film companies. So I gotta admit though, did I enjoy most of the movie? Yeah, I did. It's just the ending for me I didn't like the ending. I'll say that. I
will agree, it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Again, I think the takeaway overall message kind of went over my head, and I feel bad that I missed the meaning of it. But if you guys understood it completely, let us know what you guys think, or even what your interpretation of it is, because for me, that was a little bit to end on that note exactly, without a little bit more clarity. It did kind of made it okay. I wish it would have wrapped up a little bit nicely. I agree with you. I still enjoyed the film for most of it, what it was. The cast was great and everything, but for the ending, it could have been a little better.
One of the brilliant things that I really did enjoy about this film was that, again, we go back to the environment, and 2, the other thing that was very entertaining. If you can entertain your audience, which is us, by not saying a damn word, that's brilliant. She is, I mean, I was interested in her character, her and him's, her character, and of course the guy from 4 Weddings and a Funeral, both of their characters right away right off the bat, and it was very interesting. It was very intense moment, because you're getting sucked into the nature world, what the hell's going on, figuring it out. And I love that, because the filmmakers also don't think the audience is dumb either, because they actually give us not the main story, like, hey, this is that. No, they kind of leave it, give us little tools to kind of put everything together. And I love it when filmmakers do that. I hate when filmmakers tell us this is like over and over. I hate when movies do that, because I feel like that they think audience moviegoers are just stupid and dumb. That's just my take. But
I mean, it does have like some like what looks like a biblical verse of some sort.
Yeah, of course.
Testament,
but again, it's open to interpretation, guys. But let's get right to it. Rating 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest. I'm going to give this rating.
I would give it a solid 7, because I agree that the effects, the gore was very well done. Yes. The story kept me interested.
Yes.
Again, I cannot say enough good things about the cast. Overall, it was a really good film. They took something, again, that could be something so beautiful. Nature is so beautiful, and they made it terrifying. And
so beautiful yet deadly.
Almost claustrophobic. It's just this vast forest, but yet, these creatures are closing in. This cult that's trying to hunt her is closing in. So I thought it was really, really well done, the way it was shot and everything. So I agree.
A lot of the gore effects, the gore scenes are really good. They're very gooey.
I kind of wanted to like turn away, but I couldn't turn away.
I'm gonna do a 7 as well. They're very gooey. They're very vicious, and they're very detailed. And you could very well see veins. You could see everything. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. That's one of the things I could take away from this film, is that it was really inventive on the bloody scenes. And I feel like that they really went. That's where the money went into, and I appreciate that. I do. Good. I'm happy, because I hate CGI stuff when they kind of overdo CGI and everything. And it really relies solely on the actor, on how the talent you have as well. So I'll leave it at that. I really did enjoy this film, guys. 7 out of 10. And question is for you guys. What do y'all think? Alamo City Movie Talk does recommend this movie, guys, for giving it above average rating. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think? And thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Have a good one. Stay classy, San Antonio. See you at the movies. Latest.